Hello everyone and welcome back to Stat 385. This is our welcome video for week 2. And in this week we are going to be covering two general broad topics, objects and functions. And I believe the quote goes that to understand computations in R, everything that exists is an object and everything that happens is a function call. The notes will have it exactly. Okay, so this week we are going to really just get into the basics of R, using it as like starting up and setting it up as a replacement for a scientific calculator, and then we'll get into objects and functions, which is essentially all of R. However, this is not a 2-week class. There's going to be more to it than that, but generally speaking, everything that exists is an object, and everything that happens will be the result of a function call. Okay, so for the week, or after completing this week, we will be, or you'll be expected to run R code interactively using RStudio, using some keyboard shortcuts in RStudio, which, if mastered, will save you a lot of time, because there was a time when I didn't know them, and now I do, and I can say that saves a lot of time. Performing basic mathematical calculations using R, replacement for scientific calculator. We will create some objects in R, and we will formalize creating objects of R and saving them by assigning objects a name. More on this as we get going, but this is what is happening under the hood. So we assign objects a name when we store them in memory to access later. We will write some basic R functions, and we will also use R functions. Okay, so reading material from the book, you can see here, getting started, objects and functions. So what I recommend is that you first, before you get into any of the videos, read through this material, skim it, and see the logic about what is happening in this course in this week, and then go through the videos, and then go back and read to see how much you have retained, and get after reading it again, after watching the videos, make this week make sense. Okay, so the videos, here's this welcome video, which you are now watching. Getting started in R, objects and functions, and then a lab video. So a reminder, the lab videos, I will go through the labs, and then you will, and I will provide my solution. Again, it is recommended that you work on the lab independently. Remember, there's free attempts, 3 points. And then you can go watch the video, and you can compare and contrast how you approach the problem with how I approach the problem. And assignments, these are just to get you set up with the class. Still recommend doing them, but they aren't for points. And then lab 1, lab 1 will be due September 11th. We are, so next week, next Thursday. Quiz 1, this is, reminder, this due date is for buffer points. So if you complete the quiz by Thursday, September 11th, you get 105%, and a week later, it will be due for 100%. Check the syllabus and the policies for more details on that. But yeah, so of course the idea with buffer points is that you won't earn more than 100% in the class, but if you start accumulating these buffer points on the quizzes, then if you have a bad quiz, or you miss the deadline to get 100%, then those buffer points will offset those losses. So it's best to build them now, as we're getting into harder and harder content before we get into that. Okay, office hours, see syllabus. I will update you if there's any changes with an email. All right, so that's week 2, but before I close out, I want to talk about videos and dates. So we are in week 2, fall semester 2025. However, with how I create and post these videos, I've taught this class in this asynchronous setting in the past, and so I have a plethora of videos. And so I I will end up reusing videos that I have. And the reason for doing that is that when I watch a video and determine that it is of high enough quality, then I don't want to actually mess with that video, because even if it's not 100% perfect, if I catch some mistakes as I'm watching them, then it's hard to keep those mistakes in mind, make a new video, and then replicate everything that I did right 100% of the time. So if the video is of high enough quality, I will use it. And so the reason why I'm saying that, besides just being transparent, is to let you know that if there are dates on web pages that you see that don't make sense, then you should know that it's a video that I have reused that I deem of high quality. And that, yes, we are in the fall semester of 2025, and so you can ignore dates that exist on a video, and that the content is still for this semester. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and I will see you throughout the week, throughout the class. All right, take care. Bye.